How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG, which was down just over 6.5% on the day. I told you guys in my previous video the levels you want to look out for as far as for the downside, and it looks like that is coming together. We'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $2.15, being down 6.52%. On the low, it tested $2.10, and then on the high, testing $2.30. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 14.928 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 20.802 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we had a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 38.30. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day. We're also below the 50-day and as well as the 21-day EMA. And it's clear to see that BBIG is in a bear market, trading below all of our major moving averages. So if you remember what I was talking about in my last video, don't be shocked if you see BBIG testing the $2 level. It had a low of $2.10, so there's a strong possibility it could test $2 going into tomorrow, which would be Thursday. So you want to make sure that you're keeping a very close eye on this play around this level, and you want to see this area hold at $2, all right? Now, as far as for the high of the day, we saw it at $2.30. So if we get some price action above the high of the day, of course we want to see BBIG getting to at least a 21-day EMA, which is at $2.62. So that is a big move that you're asking for, but if it could reclaim this level and then start consolidating to the upside in an uptrend and closing in that gap, then things can really look good for the play. But if it doesn't do that, that's why I'm saying I just see some more downside pressure on this play. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings, we see for the 31st, we have Blackstone Alternative Investment Funds with a short position of 49,100 shares, and the rest we've already covered. So that's pretty substantial. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 26.44%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 1.59 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 19 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 95.02, and the max on the day was at 100%. This is exactly what we want to see. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 27th, it is at 26.60. And then for the close of the 31st, it is 26.44. So right away, taking a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 17.91%, BBIG does have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see on the inflows at 5.26 million, and then on the outflows at 6.79 million. So at an outflow day, taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 3.08 million, on the small it was 2.18 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 0.48 million, on the medium it was 4.40 million, and then on the small it was 1.91 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for June the 1st we had that outflow of just over 475,000, which was today. I don't know if I said that already. And then as far as for the 31st, we had that outflow of just over 216,000. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, you can see that we had more buying than we had selling. That's right, retail's buying up the dip. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then for the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And we went over that already, especially for the past 5 trading days. It has all been outflow days. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 7.15%. So this is up there, but we know that BBIG is a volatile stock and it is witnessing a good amount of selling pressure. So let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, when it comes to the price action, so we ended up seeing a high at $2.30 and we saw a low at $2.10. If you remember what I said in my previous video, if we continue to see weakness in this play, we can get down to these following levels, and now the next area that we want to keep an eye on is $2. If it comes down to $2, which it has shown to be previous support in the past, we could have a bounce. So I know many of you have been watching my videos, you're keeping note of that, so please watch this stock going into Thursday. As far as what we want to see to the upside from BBIG is getting back to the 21-day EMA, which is around $2.62. We also do know there's a gap to the upside that needs to be filled at $2.77. So please add this to your homework, but you are asking for a fairly big move, knowing that the high was at $2.30 if you're going to be playing that direction. But at least you know if it breaks above 230 and there's a lot of buying volume coming in, 262 would be a level to focus on. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we don't see much activity whatsoever, but we do see that institution took a sizable short position. But no surprises, because we know when we took a look at the short interest information, it does have short squeeze potential. And then taking a look at that short borrow fee being back in the 100% range. As far as for the max on the day, it did close in the 90% range, but this is still good to see. And I'm going to assume that shorts want to cover their positions at these current levels. It would be the smart thing to do. We are still going to get those cryptide shares. That has not been called off whatsoever. So with this price action, it is just short term. But again, you need to find out a strategy for yourself if you're going to be swing trading this. I give you guys the levels, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed to give you guys financial advice. But if you add that to your homework, I'm pretty sure you can give you an edge and also the opportunity to take advantage and know how to swing this play so you can make some money off of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I can't wait to see how the stock performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.